Hi guys. Hello. Hi. Oh my. How are you? How are you? How are you? Okay. Wait, I don't know what time it is. 1 second. I'm gonna find out and then I'll be back. Okay, it's like 11:07 in the morning. AM. I don't want this mug to break. I'm like setting it on the bathroom counter, but actually that's weird. That's gross. I'm gonna just put this in the microwave and I'll be back. Again. Anyway, I'm Celeste, by the way. I'm gonna like get ready for the day, even though I'm not going anywhere, but I'm gonna get ready for the day and also talk to you guys. I keep seeing, wait 1 second, I'm gonna brush my teeth and then I'll tell you. I'm gonna use this on my hair, which I've had for I don't know how many years. I just never used it. It's like almost full. But I ran out of the other hair product that I was using like more often. So I'm obviously gonna use something. But I didn't want to use like the conditioner in the shower that I have in the shower because I feel like that'd be weird. I don't know why. I'm just gonna use this. I don't know why I thought it was funny. It was so funny. It's not funny. It's so not funny. I'm just gonna put water in my hair first. Oh. It kind of smells good. You have to smell it. Pretty good, right? But it feels like sunscreen. It looks like... Now I just hope for the best, because it's very white like sunscreen, and my hair is very dark. And one time when I was in 6th grade, or 7th grade, I came home, and my mom was like, why is there a giant glob of conditioner at the back of your head? I was like, well, guess what? I just came from school, so, and I didn't do anything different, so it's been there the whole day. And then she was like, oh no, like, everyone's gonna never forget that about you. I was like, I know. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that. But what am I gonna do? Like, actually have eyes on the back of my head, have a mirror in the back of my head and eyes, and just, I would look like an alien. I can't look like that. People are gonna know. They're gonna be like, you're not from the planet, you're weird. And I'm gonna be like, I know. Anyway, I keep seeing on my For You page stuff about Sabrina Carpenter's album called A Man's Best Friend. And people are like judging it. Now that the album's out, people are judging it. They were already judging it. But also I was judging it. Because there were things about it that were normal and like kind of funny. And then there were things about it that were kind of weird, right? I'm gonna get my tea, but then I'm gonna tell you my perspective on it. Because I don't think that like free will doesn't exist, but I think when you say something and give people context, then it looks weird after. I'll explain it. Like, okay, she had her little album cover. I was like, her on like all fours, like she's a dog, right? And this guy was like grabbing her hair, but you couldn't see like who the guy was. And then it's just called Men's Best Friend, like she's a dog. So, I mean, it's just like a kink, I guess, like that she's, you know, like, so it's relatively tame if you think about it that way. It could have been worse, it could have been weirder. So if that's the part people are mad about, then that's weird, right? Because like, there's free will, there's worse stuff out there, you know? Like it's mainstream, but like there's weirder stuff in the mainstream anyway. Like, you know. So if that's the part that people are worried about, then they're just kind of stupid or like very boring, I guess. I think that'd be very boring. Because like, I don't know. Not that they have to be like interested in that, but like the part that I thought was weird was the part when she said the album's about her dog, but all of the songs are just sexual. So it's like she has like a golden retriever puppy that I guess she just got. So what do you mean it's about that? Like listening to any of the songs is like different now. What do you mean it's about that? How's it about your dog? Your actual dog? Oh, but people are mad because they think it's giving like, I don't know, 1950s or 1970s, and they're like, oh my god, like, what about you having abortion rights? Like, now that you don't have that, like, now you're just a dog, huh? Like, people are taking it like that. Not like, oh, that's just like a kink that she's like into. So then it's relatively tame compared to like what she could have done, like something weird. Like we're kind of lucky she didn't like do something weird. Like, but also, what do you mean it's about your dog? Because now it sounds different. Like it's like, is it literally like very literal and about your dog? Because then your dog is being abused. So there's that. So there's like layers to it. But people are like picking apart an interview now where, I don't know, she just said like that she doesn't have to talk about it and that only some people understand her. And people are like, oh my god, how could you say only some people understand you? Like every time I scroll my For You page, someone's like, how could you say only some people understand you? How could you do that to me, personally? It's like, you're just proving the point that only some people will understand. It's just, that was also when she said it's about her dog. Or maybe it was another one when she said it was about her dog. Like, why is it about your dog? Inspired by and about are kind of like separate concepts. So you could have been like, well, it's inspired by my dog, but it's not actually about the dog. You know, like you could have been like, by the way, like, don't think it's the literal dog. Some people just need to get better at explaining themselves. But it doesn't help when you think you don't have to explain yourself in your life so much that then you don't like learn how to or show people that you've already learned how to, because then you just kind of look like you wouldn't know how to if you did have to, is like what I would say about it, I guess. But also when people are like, everyone was like, oh my god, like I don't like the album cover, she just came out with other album covers, so they weren't all originally the album cover. But then when people said like, we hate this album cover, she was like, okay, that's still a cover, but here's like a bunch of other covers that are alternative covers. Now that you don't like me, here's more covers, but I don't have to explain it to you. It's kind of like you could have come out with all the covers at the same time, and it would have not looked like the public opinion chooses who you are, to the point where like you don't let yourself have any self-expression either. Because now you're like, oh my god, guys, you bullied me so much. Here's more album covers, but I never should have had to explain it to you. It's like, then you either don't explain it to them, or you already do all the covers at the same time. But also, why is it about your dog? Maybe that's what you feel guilty for. Like, if it were not about your dog, maybe you never would have felt guilty for anything to begin with. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But people don't like the interview that she recently did. I don't know who all the people are. I don't know. To me, I'm like, okay, there are people on the news. Like, I saw little bits of whatever. I don't know who these people are. But because people like know all the names of the people, I'm like, I don't know their names. But yeah, I guess one of the people went to like, this lady like went to the outer space or something. I have no idea. I have no idea. No idea at all. But what was weird was that when Sabrina Carpenter, not about her, but like when she was explaining, she was like, oh, like if Tommy from Arkansas doesn't understand me, then I don't care. And she seemed very calm when she said that, very normal. But then as soon as she left the scene, all the like people started talking about her, like the people on the newscast just started talking about her as soon as she left. And they were like, yeah, I don't know what she meant by that, but I think, don't worry, Tommy from Arkansas, if you're real, she doesn't actually hate you. It's like, now somebody else is over-explaining on your behalf, even though it doesn't even look like you like agreed to that. So it looks like they're trying to make your personal brand so insecure that it's not gonna last more than like 3 seconds. Because now it looks like it's just like paper and people could just like pee on it. Like it's weird, it's getting weird. Like, I don't know, it's getting weird. It's getting really weird. Like, if I don't know if this is something they can do, but if I were her, I would have wanted a publicist to be, or somebody, to make sure they're not going to tear me apart right after I leave the set and just say that I am way more insecure than I looked. Like, that's what they did. That's what they did. And nobody can read the room. They just want to make it worse. The one part of her that's so confident is the part they decided to like tear apart and like, you know, make just look insecure. It's very weird. Very weird. Anyway, that's pretty much, I thought the album was good. I don't know. No notes, really. Like, I thought it was cute. It was good. It was 12 songs, you know. I thought it was nice. I thought it was nice, you know. I thought it was nice. I don't know. I thought it was nice. I thought it was nice. There's not a lot to say about it, really. Like, the music video was cool. I don't know. The one for, like, Tears. I don't know. It kind of stressed me out, but it was nice. I think it was cool. It was good. I don't know. I think, yeah, it's just, if you felt understood, you wouldn't, like, explain the parts of you that felt understood that much. Like, there's always going to be a public opinion, but I feel like you usually see what's coming with those. I feel like those aren't that hard to predict. Whatever you do, there's going to be something bad about it. Somebody's going to say the opposite of whatever you're saying and just say they're right. They were never going to say you were right, no matter what. Like, they were always going to say the opposite. Like, you don't get to control the public narrative. If that's what you wanted, then you wanted a different job, which was, you know, the job of never being successful because other people always have a different mind than you. And that goes for everybody. Like, if they think that controlling the public narrative is what any version of, like, fame is going to be, like, what were you gonna control about it? The fact that other people could have looked at you and made something up? You can decide what about you they have access to make up. You know, you can't really be like, you know, if you, well, there's really nothing you can do. You could show them a photo of trees and they're gonna be like, yeah, but what if the trees were growing inside of your body? You know, like, it doesn't, you don't ever get to the other side of somebody being like, oh no, there's something wrong with this. Somebody's gonna have a problem with it, but it's not even just somebody's gonna have a problem with it. Well, what do you expect when we're on a planet that's so dead in the middle of nowhere and only a few people have, like, resources, so then the other people are miserable because they're either dying or they're fighting to not die, and then there you are being all happy and stuff. Like, no wonder they're miserable. You were like the only light in the whole dark, so they started attacking it because they didn't know what it was. Even if whatever is about whatever. Even if that had to be what was sacrificed, you could still be the light in a dark tunnel, even though it's insane that Sabrina Carpenter was willing to say this is about her dog and not add any context, and then they're all just, like, sexual songs. Like, which part was not about your dog? We'll start there. The part where you were, like, a stripper, was that about your dog too? The part where you were like, I get wet at the thought of you, was that about your dog or was that about somebody else? Because you said it was all about your dog. So we could start there, because that part should not have been about your dog. Like, at all. Not even a little bit. So that's actually, like, really gross. So that part should have not been about your dog. Anything else? The album cover. Is that about your actual literal dog? Or something else? Because, like, yeah, there were so many ways to interpret it until it was about your dog. Now there's not a whole lot of ways to interpret this. Like, the album sounds nice. It sounds well produced, you know, but as long as you don't try to figure out which parts are about her dog and which parts are not about her dog, then the album's great. But, like, if the whole thing is about her dog, then she might be just writing the next one from prison or something. I don't know. From jail. I don't know. it goes a little far, you know? I mean, depending on how about her dog it is, that's kind of the scale of like how illegal is the album trying to be, or what is she doing, you know? Because it's so easy to be like, it's not about the actual dog, it's just about the idea of dogs. Like, it's just about pretending to be one, like, you know, it's about the literal dog, like, it's shaped like this, like, and it's about the dog, like, no, it's not, like, that's crazy. That, even if it was an accident to say that, a few things can be like, you know, I understand. Like, I understand. If she's trying to just get that type of energy, then she's trying to get that type of energy. You know? Like, you know. Everybody writes things that sound weird. It's not wrong to put that out into the world, because that's the energy you're currently in, so that's the energy you're trying to escape from. But you normally, when you're explaining the overall project, I don't think is the time when you say, hey, this is about the dog. That's not the time when you say, hey, this is about the dog, because then it looks like actually different. Like, you know, that's when it's like, oh, we're rebranding. Like, she's like rebranding all the way over there. Like, oh, okay. That's, you know, it's just different. But it's fine. You know, it's nobody's business if it's about her dog. It's just what she said on the news, is that it's about her. Normally when they go on the news, they say it's about the actual dog. It's in a bad way. It's like somebody's in handcuffs. And they're like, so, we found out this album was about the dog. Like, and normally that's like how that's found out. You know, so I don't know where she's, you know, going with that, but it just could have been explained better. Because, like, okay, maybe that's just the energy she's in, but, like, it wasn't literal. The whole planet is taking some stuff, weirdly, though. I mean, they think it's about abortion. How do people think the album's about abortion? It's about not having rights? Is it? How's it about not having rights? Because he's pulling her hair. That's the part that's about not having rights. That's the part that's about not having rights. Since what is that the part that's about not having rights? Wouldn't it be not having rights if she, like, wasn't allowed to do it? Like, at all? She seems kind of liberated to me. I don't know. I don't know what you guys all want. I kind of want to do makeup, though. I'm kind of done talking about all that, but we'll move on to the next chapter. My skin is, like, dry. Like, I don't know. Honestly. Having skin that's dry. Where did I put my... What do I want to use? This? This is a cleansing balm. I could use a cleansing balm for that, actually, because I've used that before, just for, like, dry skin to, like, fix it, because I don't actually care, like, what the product is for. It's just like, is that what I want to use it for? If it works, it works. Like, you know. I got a mirror at Target. Wow. It's very magnifying on one side, you know? I got it for that. I got it because, like, I don't know. All right, moisturizer on my face. It's so empty. Like, you know what I think of? I think that when I'm doing makeup or anything with beauty, that I'm actually just changing my mind, because I notice my thoughts are so different when I do anything like that. Like, it's like as if I'm fixing myself, to where it's as if, well, I'm using so many words. It's like, if I were to naturally look that way, my mind would operate a different way and I would just have different stuff to think about. So it turns my mind into what it would have been if I just looked that way naturally for me. Even if I do something weird, like putting on like purple eyeshadow, like I feel like it does to me, and I know this is my business and no one's business, but like, I feel like it does to me whatever would have caused me to naturally be that way, like mentally though. So yeah, if I'm putting on like green eyeshadow, yeah, it'll make me go like insane a little bit, which is fine because I don't mind. But it, not like insane, but like, you know, enough that like, okay, nobody looks like that naturally. And clearly, if your mind had to be different, if you did, you would just be different. Like, you'd be like, I'm just a serpent. I don't know. So even when I do small things, every step is like temporarily changing a part of me. So I'm trying to get it to where I can train myself to just do that and then look better as a result of it, rather than just the opposite. But like, I don't know how. Okay, let's see. There's still like moisturizer on my hands, but I think, am I just gonna leave it there? I think I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna like blend it in. It was just like in between my fingers, so I'm like, okay. I got this new foundation. Is it the right color or is it the wrong color? What about natural lighting? The shower is not providing a lot of natural lighting at this time. Let's see. My hands, I literally washed them, but you know when there's like dust on your fingers, it's like a different color, and you're like, well, what am I gonna do about that? I guess nothing. Do you have to shake this? I don't remember. I don't remember if, okay. I got Cool Medium C5. I got it at Target, so like the Target lighting, I can't tell if it's like a little bit off. It's pretty close, but to be fair, there's a lot of different skin colors that I have. So it's from far away. I didn't know if I was cool, but this seems warm. But it said cool. I feel like am I just a vampire? Because why would my skin be more cool toned? I don't know what that means. I know what cool tones are in like colors, but like when it comes to like skin colors, like you could tell me that and I'm just as stupid as a doornail that's rusted and not connected to the door. It might be a little dark. I didn't think about, well, I did think about that a lot. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out because I didn't want to like get the wrong color, so I probably got the wrong color. Oopsie. Wait, this might be kind of wrong. Oh, wait a minute. It's so hard to tell. Okay, it's kind of dark. When I first put it on, it was not though. So, okay, wait. Now it's kind of light. I have no idea. Okay, I'm just gonna put it all on. It's very orange. By the way, it's very orange, but also I'm realizing my real skin tone is very orange. I don't know what I expected. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. I'm just gonna put this all on and then we'll find out. Well, on the bright side, it's always an option to have very low standards for what I'm doing right now, but that's maybe not the goal. Like, to be fair, there's nobody's opinion that I'm really worried about, but is that going to be the reason why I think it looks good, or is the reason why I don't care if it looks bad? It's not that bad. I mean, I didn't blend it in yet, but on the forehead, but it's not that bad. It's so funny though, I feel like I sing better and I write better when I'm wearing makeup, because again, it's like if I just looked that way. To me, it's kind of like that. Because I don't see it all as a big deal. I'm just like, might as well enjoy some energy. But if I upgraded out of nowhere, I would totally take that as like meaning something completely different. Like, I feel like even if I could just look better, I would take that as like it means something. Like, I wouldn't take that as, oh, that's just what happened, when even if it were just what happened. So I feel like I wouldn't randomly upgrade and look different, because I would take it as meaning something. But if there were like an excuse for that to just make sense and not mean anything, then it would just be ultimately better for me. Yeah, so see, you can tell how the face and the body are just not the same color. But aside from that, it doesn't actually look that bad. It's fine. It's just if my skin peels, it looks like there's a part of like a sponge like on my skin that's like coming off. But it can't possibly be. It can't possibly be. Because I didn't use a sponge, I used my hand. So do I like this? Well, it's the wrong color, but it's a usable color. Like, I'm not gonna throw it away just because it's the wrong color. I'm just gonna have to make it work because it's a whole bottle of it, and I don't know how long that lasts. It's not that bad. Okay, wait, I have to put on my glasses because I can obviously see color, but like when I put on my glasses, I feel like I can like judge things in a smarter way. Like, I can see without, well, no. I can't see without my glasses, but glasses fix stupid for me more than they fix Wow, that's a really bad color match, isn't it? Isn't it? Can I be this orange in my life? I mean, I guess why not? I just mean, is it like weird? Well, I could always use concealer. I feel like it looks good. It's just like, why is right here so light? I don't think you guys can even tell. This is also very, very white light. It's just bright. Like, see, this made me like prettier. It's just the thing that and more like put together. But the thing that it did is like in this kind of light, I am a little orange. But it's like, you know, nothing against people who are orange. But when did I become one of them? Like, it's not giving Simpsons because I have a very tan skin tone naturally. So it's more like if you were like the tan version of like them a little bit. If I were, you know, but it actually, I feel like it made my voice stronger, but also today my voice is just like that. Like, I don't know. Let's see. I actually made up the idea that if I put this here and then under my eyes and then a tiny bit on my neck, then it would just be like as if the whole thing is the right skin tone. But if you look at my hairline up here, then nothing is gonna make any sense. So if you don't see that part, the rest of it is gonna look good. I just made the idea up, but I could tell it's gonna work, so we'll find out. I mean, I could blend it in more than that, but. If you're doing your makeup and you do something that feels very tedious, like you're walking on eggshells, like something you have to be so careful about, it's like, I feel like sometimes you get results. Because it's like, I don't even know how that worked. If it were to work, I wouldn't even know how. I wouldn't even know how to replicate it. But I would feel like I have to, and that's like kind of upgrading a little bit because you're like, I did that myself, but like, if I had to make sense of how, would I understand? Probably not. Okay. It brightened that. We'll find out. We're gonna find out. Are we de-oompa loompaing ourselves? I don't know. This is the only thing that might work. So in other words, we're gonna have to make it work. Or it's a waste of money to buy the foundation that was like $13. I don't know. Maybe it was like $8.99 or $13. Again, it's not fully blended on this side, but you can kind of get the vision a little bit. Or does it look like sunscreen? Do we know? Have we decided? I love wearing makeup right now, because it kind of feels like Christmas. It's like, yeah, I do look good. I don't know why that feels like Christmas, but it's like, that's so nice. Why wouldn't I want to look good? I just think it makes all areas of life better. It's like, why wouldn't I care about that, huh? Anyway, basically the plan is to put this on, like, I have to put it on my nose too, because then look how orange my nose is. It's orange. And the center has to be brighter than the rest of it. Or you have like the wrong lighting, even though the lighting is coming from a bottle. There's also the fact that makeup creases. And not just that, if you put a powder on to make it not crease, then you know what you have to do? The powder is a certain color, and I think I'm getting all the colors right on here because I can get the ratios right. But when you put that powder on, the powder's a different color. All of the dark parts are going to be lighter, all the light parts are going to be darker. You're going to be like, wow. Oh, and you can't put more cream products on after you put on powder or it gets all clumpy and weird. I like that the Tarte-shaped tape has good coverage, but it gives you like this textured look to where like there wasn't even texture there and suddenly there is. I'm looking for the powder, but like where did I put it in the other room? I'll be right back. Okay. I feel like it's pretty good, but it's not realistic. I mean, obviously, but I mean like the highlight and the ratios of color, it's not that realistic, you can't tell. But if I put powder in the lighter parts, we'll find out. Also though, if I look orange, it's kind of like, big deal. Like, I looked orange, oh no. Like, wow. Is the Eiffel Tower on fire or something? Like, it's not like it matters, like, you know? Okay, so this is what I mean by it's a completely different color. It looks light right here, but it's kind of tan. So it's gonna look in between. And I'm not gonna use a sponge for this, I'm just gonna use my hand. I mean, now I look like a vampire. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, because it looks different every time I look. But yeah. I think this is going pretty well. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. Are you going well? No? You need some makeup. I have to put it on my nose too, so that it doesn't get like messed up. Like setting powder. Forehead, I guess. We could do a little bit. I guess. Oh yeah, I wasn't actually gonna put concealer on my neck. What I was going to do was if there was any left on my hands that I was going to do it. But I decided, I mean, it would just be stupid if I put concealer on my neck because then I'm asking for it to be like a million different colors. and we're just gonna have to deal with it however it decides to look. Yeah, it's always like not fully blended on my neck. One time in school, I had like a full face of makeup, but like it wasn't fully blended on my neck, so it was like a slightly different color. I don't know if you can tell, but like sometimes it'll be like just a little bit orange and then it's like not orange right there, right? This girl who I was friends with, she knew I had never had my first kiss or anything, and then she was like, she knew I was wearing makeup, and then she was like, is that a hickey on your neck? I was like, no, like I'm obviously wearing makeup, but she made me feel so weird for that, for the fact that I was wearing makeup, and I felt like it was intentional back then, and I was like, I already know you're kind of this type of person who wants to say something like in disguise. So I was like, oh, like I already knew you were like someone who would want to do something like that to just make me like, I did feel uncomfortable because it wasn't true, and it wasn't even like, oh, I have to have like these, it wasn't based on anything that it wasn't true, it's just that it wasn't true, and it's like, well, now I feel like I can't even walk around living my normal life without it being like inspected. Like, even if it were true, it would be creepy to say that, but it wasn't true, and so that stressed me out so much. I was like, you don't even know how stressful I felt like my life already was, and now you're gonna make it more stressful. Now you're gonna go and do that? Like, ugh. Ugh. I hate if I want to wash makeup off of my hands, it's like I need a makeup wipe because it's still on my hands. Like soap and water doesn't do anything. So I have to like, I'm not gonna waste a makeup wipe over that. Like, I'm just gonna like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, do I have a towel I can just wipe this on? I don't know. Ew. Oh, I'm just gonna get a paper towel from the kitchen. I'll be back. What do we think we're gonna do? It's orange, it's definitely orange. But also when you have lighting like this, nothing can be done. It's, you know, one step out of 5,000 steps to have this product, put it on and find out that it's orange. If I really wanted to like improve like makeup skills, like it's really one step out of 5,000 steps. So okay, I did one of the steps. Like it doesn't really matter that it's orange. Like it's like I'm still so far from where I'm going, so it doesn't matter. I'm trying to figure out where you're going to go because I didn't bring my tripod. I mean, I have it, but like, do I have like anywhere special for you to go? Do you think you can stand? Like, did you think you were good at standing? I mean, I think this works considering you're freakishly bad at standing. Do you like my candle? It's pumpkin pancakes from Target. I have foundation on my lips. See, in makeup, there's always something to die from. And you never know till afterwards. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You know? It's like I didn't put on mascara, so my eyelashes are just there. But there's probably like foundation in them, so they're mostly like non-existent. But what was I gonna do? Put on mascara that takes forever to take off? I don't like that much. But, you know, there's always something to die from. Because you think you're improving something, and then you find out you're doing the opposite, or you're not, and there's nothing you can do about it. I do like this makeup look, actually. I think it's cute. Like I said, it's gonna take me like 10 years to get the color right. It's gonna take me a while to figure out. I need like water. Yeah, I think the under eyes are good. I'm trying to check in the candle. I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna get water. Okay, do I want water, coffee, or tea? Do I want like hot water with lemon? I don't know why. I'm not asking you. I really don't know. Maybe I want like hot water with lemon. But maybe I don't. I don't know. Okay, this is lemon juice. I don't know who Cecilia is. Cecilia. Actually, I think my grandma has a sister. I don't know. What's the right way to say that? My grandma was born with a lot of siblings that are a lot older than her, but she's also not a spring chicken. She's not a chicken, but it means she's not the youngest person on the planet. So, you know, I don't know. My grandma was born with a sister, I think, with a name very similar to that. But I'm like, obviously respectfully, like, oh my god. I wasn't trying to say it like that. It just sounded that way, and I was like, that's not what I meant. You know? Beepity boop, boop. Now I just wait for the water while the microwave takes 7 centuries to do whatever it's doing in there. It takes so long. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm grateful I'm not a microwave, because then you just sit there and spin things around in a circle for a small amount of time. And then you say beep, 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 and that's all you get to say. That's all you get to say. I mean, imagine that was the best of your self-expression. After that kind of a life. After the kind of life where you're literally just spinning things around for no reason. Imagine. Anyway. Why is it taking so long? It's like 12:07 right now. 12:07. Which means that it's been 89 minutes since the water's been in the microwave and 56 minutes since the start of the video. I can't wait for it. What am I supposed to do? Wait for it? It's not working. I was trying to wait. It's actually taking forever. I only hit like 2 minutes, right? Finally. You can kind of tell the messed up colors right now. I know, it's bad. But in the store, in the lighting, it was the same color, or like the closest, so. What, am I supposed to just go like a shade lighter all the time for no reason? Maybe. But where was I supposed to get that idea? Maybe I had that idea a long time ago and then it went away. Wait, should I turn the light? Isn't it suddenly dark? Was it dark the whole time? Oh, do you like this? The steam. And technically, like, if there were water and fire, and it's kind of good, right? It's kind of nice. Is it nice? What do you think? Is it nice? Guys. I can't tell if I'm at a point in life where things are surprisingly more difficult than they were before. Or if it's just because the album I'm in the middle of and almost finished with. Like, I actually can't tell which one it is, but energy just shows up for a little bit and then it leaves. And when the energy does that, sometimes it'll be I just happen to have like started or ended a song when energy like shifts like that. Or like I just posted one, or I just wrote one and haven't posted it yet. It's like waiting for me. I don't know. Whenever I'm not doing that, I'm like, oh, I probably should be. But nothing will like clear my mind, anything like writing a bunch of songs in a day or putting out a bunch of songs, singing them in a day. Like when I'm really like, when I'm a squirrel, I do that so that I turn into a person again, you know? It kind of fixes it, you know? It makes me less stupid, because I'd be stupid if I didn't do that. I don't know what I would do. But I feel like I'm at the bottom of like a mountain that I'm about to climb that I haven't even started. Which is weird because I'm very pessimistic at the moment. I'm like, but also trying to not think about it. Because it's not fixing it. Because there's no such thing as optimism in a world where you never receive what you were fighting for. because you face the negative reinforcement of that so many times that you give up on any form of optimism, and then you're like, well, clearly, the prize is staying alive. The prize, the best of life, is surviving. So when the best of life is surviving, you're kind of like, that was the fun part? Then what was the bad part if that was the fun part? Like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like, so free will wasn't the fun part because that part didn't even barely feel like me. Great. And then I think I use writing songs to like create that part of myself. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, how does somebody even move their career along? They don't. Like, huh? They don't. Like, they really don't. If somebody had money for like ads, I mean, that's what all of the people who are really doing well out there have. I mean, they do a few things. They have this assertive part of themselves to where they're like, okay, I know that this is going to work out, but usually it's because somebody is just offering money for them to like have ads. They just don't talk about it, but they're like, I already know that this is going to go well because I put a bunch of ads on this. And then they just have a personality where like, of course they know it's going to go well but it's easier for them to do that because they already know that they have ads on the videos or posts. So when you have a lot of money to make sure that people know about you, it's not very hard to be like, oh, streams, because guess what? I've seen like, and obviously this is just the industry, it's just what you do if you have money. Then you're just smart enough to like do this thing where your TikTok video is just linked to your Spotify. You get where I'm going with this. So like a certain amount of streams with the TikTok video, like it either automatically adds it to the Spotify, or if you accidentally click like one button, it takes you to the Spotify, and then it counts, if you've even seen the page, it can count as literal like streams or views. So, you know, if you have like a TikTok ad, then you could get a lot of views on the video that has your song, but people already know about you because of other ads that you have and stuff. And like, you know, if you have a lot of ads on your stuff, but you also have like, yeah, your aura is a part of it, but you have to think about it like, of course you know your aura is good because you've been seen a lot, you know, like you kind of, they build up a reputation, but you don't build up something if nobody knows you exist. People have so many illusions. Oh, this song blew up because it was good. No, that might have happened in the 1970s. Maybe like once or twice in like the 1980s. Maybe once in like 2000. It's really not, it's really getting weird now. Like, you know. So, you know, considering the fact that I was not born a billionaire and that I don't have like a throwaway $400,000 just to get like one song that's like doing well or something, you know, like considering I don't have more than like, I think I have like $3, you know, considering that, you know, considering that, I don't really know what I'm looking for or how I'm gonna find it. I think it helps that I have a lot of albums that I've been working on and that I've been consistently doing that. So, because even people who have infinite amounts of money don't have the confidence a lot of the time to put out songs or more than one song. So most of those people are immediately crossed off because, oh, you didn't even actually do it. So just because somebody is born a billionaire doesn't mean they get to do it. It means a lot of the times they don't have the confidence to do it. That being said, a lot of the people who were born billionaires or even millionaires, yeah, they won't have the confidence to put out one song, but if they put out a good song, they have one song that did well. And then they didn't put out a lot more. Like, a lot of people just don't have like a catalog that's very ginormous. And I know that they have other strengths a lot of the time, but in the entertainment industry, people have to be like every person for themselves. You can't move out of the way for somebody else to do it. But you have to trust that somebody else is going to move out of the way for you. There's nothing you can do. You have to see it kind of weirdly. You have to see it a certain way. I don't know. You have to see it a certain way. Which is why I'm focusing on, like, I look at my career in music that I've made $0 with, and then also invested $0 though, and put out albums with 50 songs, 70 songs, you know, like multiple times, and I'm willing to do that. And I have a song that's 38 minutes, but I also have songs, most of my songs are like 2 minutes. Some of them are 1 minute, some of them are 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I have variety. I have a few that are under a minute, 10 seconds, 9 seconds, just like a little part of the album. So I have over 300, I think I have like 330 something songs. So because I have that many, and I only started in April and it's the beginning of September now, because of that, clearly, it's like I'm willing to invest something that even the billionaires are not willing to invest in their project. And so, yeah, anybody can have the resources to do it. Anybody can have the time, because I'm making time for it. Anybody can make the time for it if they actually want. If they want to seriously do that, they can make the time for it. A lot of people can learn to write. It's pretty hard to learn to sing, but a lot of people can still make themselves learn. At the end of the day, when you're getting zero return on every project that you put out, like I am, that is when most people would give up. Most people would be like, why are you posting the photo of your 16th album if you've made $0 on every project? Like, you're really gonna post song 340 when you've made $0 and you've been doing this since April, which isn't necessarily a lot of time. Most people don't have 16 albums in half a year, even though I didn't finish all of them yet, but over 300 songs is a lot. So what I'm trying to say is building up the skills and my consistency and the amount that I'm willing to invest, not financially, but in other ways, because that's what I don't have access to. I think that it's possible that that could be what helps me. I'm looking at it like I may not have the entire advantage, but if I keep doing what I'm doing at the same rate or close to the same rate, in a couple of years I'm gonna have like a lot. That obviously I own all of and whatever, but that's not really what I'm even talking about. I'm talking about the fact that I, don't have ads for this stuff. And I want to know what it would look like to, like, appeal to record labels, but without turning myself into, like, a Frankenstein version of myself. Like, I don't want to have to, like, delete YouTube videos over it. I don't want to have to, like, you know, I want the basics of what I'm already doing to not be something that I'm no longer doing, but I just want to add to that. I get the occasional comment where people are like, they say something that doesn't really make any sense, where they're like, just go independent. And I look at it like, well, I'm not like signed to a label or anything, but I do have over 300 songs. But like, you have to understand that when somebody says, oh, I'm just gonna go independent, you could like, what if you scare away like potential future like business deals you could make because you looked like you wanted to do this like weird thing, right? Whereas like, I don't know, you have to kind of see it like, if you say that, it looks like that's your permanent choice. But it's also not what anybody has already done if they've already put out any songs that are not already signed to a label before they put out any songs. I mean, it's almost something that anybody who's ever put out a song has already tried. It's just, I think you have to have an extreme investment for it to be profitable. But I think across the board, you might need an extreme investment for it to be profitable. So. And I think we're only on Earth for 100 years. So you really have to cross off any options that take away so much of your time that you're not gonna be alive anymore by the time you're successful in any way. You really have to time conserve. You have to cross off anything that's going to waste your time. A lot of people, if you look at like stories like, oh, how did that person like end up there or there or there? They're like, oh, we performed at a coffee shop. That's like not even something that makes sense, because you would have to look at the entire planet and say, so there's 7 billion people, 8 billion people. I have to look at the whole thing and say, oh, so there's people. Some of these people might be looking for me. Some of these people are not looking for me. Why would I go to a coffee shop to find the ones that are looking for me? You have to understand, how many years is that going to take you? How many years would that take you? Like, people believe in a lot of luck if they're willing to believe that those stories are true. Because anybody can lie. Anybody can say anything about themselves and anybody else and the past and not prove it, and you were already gonna believe it. Anyone can say anything about the past and you were just blindly gonna believe it. So, it doesn't really make sense. I think it's also funny. I was gonna say, you know how if somebody already has a following, for example, on social media, people are like, oh, like, if they do it that way, it would be so good because you proved that you already had followers. You proved that you had ads on your videos, or that you randomly got some views on like TikTok. But when you think about it, I would need to stand out against people who are already getting hundreds of thousands of views or millions of views. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying like, so I'm saying right now I would have to. But they might have one song. So nobody can take them seriously because they have one song and they're seen as an influencer to the whole planet. So they almost have sabotaged in a lot of ways. Like, you'll see a lot of people who are like a rising star in like music, right? And they're so defensive. They're like, no, I swear I only had an Instagram. I am not an influencer. I was never an influencer. I swear, don't look at me that way. Like, they sort of like freak out. They're like, you know, I mean, I think Halsey is a funny example of that. She was like a YouTuber at some point in time that she'll be like, no, I was never a YouTuber. I was never a YouTuber. Like, so I think that's just like some people having personal insecurities, because it's like,
God forbid somebody found out you were a YouTuber and you had like a few thousand like fans or something, like God forbid. Oh no, you were successful in more than one way, like so scary. So scary. But yeah, a lot of people either were born with money or they had somebody invest like an insane amount of money, but it doesn't make sense. A lot of them were just born billionaires, or they just didn't tell you, or they just had like hundreds of millions of dollars, they just didn't tell you, because why would they tell you? Or it was like their grandma who had like $100 million to invest in their career, or they had one song that went viral and they were a good look for the label, but then they drop off the face of the planet and nobody cares about them. Yeah. Again, I feel comfortable saying this because, yeah, a lot of people would feel like this type of conversation like would scare away. I heard something was weird, but a lot of times people would think, oh, this conversation will like scare away like labels or something like that. Guess what? I already have like 16 albums, so what I'm saying is they don't get scared away from everybody. They get scared away when it's not worth it and there's no reason to think it's worth it. You know? They get scared when it's not worth it or there's no reason to think it's worth it. Yeah. But if you're willing to critique a certain artist's career, everyone thinks you're like mean or a bad person, right? If you look at somebody's career and you're like, this part wouldn't work for me, but I know that this other part worked for me, and then you feel comfortable talking about it. So like, I feel like the common people will be like, wow, you're just a bad person. Like, you're just mean. Like, you don't deserve to say that. Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's not my fault they were born rich. Like, I wouldn't have chosen that for them. I thought it was weird for them to choose it. I don't know. Kidding. I know. What did they choose? But, you know. But I do think about that. But I've been thinking about that since I was 8 years old. I've been thinking about, like, record labels. But I've also been thinking, at the time when I was 8 years old, I was like, well, I'm 8 years old. Like, it's not the time, you know? And when I was a little bit older, I was like, okay, like, I haven't figured out how comfortable I am having... By the time I was, like, a teenager, like, a young teenager, I was like, okay, like, I'm not comfortable, putting out... Well, I didn't even barely have a phone then, you know what I mean? Like, I was already writing, but I barely had a phone, like... At different times, I was like, I'm not comfortable, like, doing what I'm doing now, which is, like, raw vocals on lyrics that I wrote, just, like, I don't know why I keep looking out my window, like, what? Like, literally, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like, lyrics I wrote with raw vocals just recorded on Snapchat and then edited in iMovie together. Like, that's what I did. I know I'm what somebody out there is looking for. I don't know who. I don't know where. I don't know. Probably not in Florida. Why would they be looking for me in Florida? Right? But I'm in Florida. I don't know. But here's the thing, like, I feel like people can't just walk, they can't just, like, go to, you know, where the labels are and just like knock on the door and like tell them, because the police are gonna get called, they're gonna escort you out, they're gonna be like, why are you here? We obviously don't take submissions, nobody does. We only find you online when you have 1 million views that you paid for with ads. Don't forget that's gonna cost like a million views. If you want ads on your YouTube videos, you only want real views, because then your content's gonna get taken down and the algorithm's gonna like hate you and all that. And then you obviously don't have real fans when somebody else thinks you do, and then you have to prove that you do, and then it's like this whole thing, obviously. So, you know, who knows, some people out there, right? Why do they only have like 3 likes on a video with like a lot of views? You know those. But if you want like ads, I mean, you're better off almost putting the ads in like a foreign country that costs like barely anything at that point. Like they don't know what they're looking for. That doesn't make any sense. Because then if you think about it, the only people who can afford it are the people who only went viral in like Nigeria. Which, no offense, I'm sure that's great. But if it's not your exact language for a lot of the people who live there, I don't know, maybe it is, I don't know anything about Nigeria, but you get what I'm saying. Like some places can cost less to go viral if it's not your own language. Or if it's not a country that you live in. If it's not going to provide you any value to go viral over there, it'll be cheaper to go viral over there. Because it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it does. People in Nigeria saw you, but like, you get what I'm saying? You get some energy from that, I guess, but like, it looks a certain way. But it doesn't seem the same as like, oh, people in your same state found out about you. Or in your same country. Or people who speak the same language as you predominantly. So, like, it would cost like $100,000 to get like 1 million views with like ads, and that's like not like, it would be something like that. It would be that extreme. Like, it would cost like over $100 to get like 1,000 views if you're doing it that way. So, depending on if you want to go viral in your same country or not. If you wanted to go viral in the UK, I think that's actually like, I think it costs more. I don't know. There's something where if you get like a YouTube ads in like certain places, like it costs a lot. I think the UK might be one of them, or like England, whatever. Like I think that cost a lot more, but I don't remember. So imagine you just like got ads for everywhere else except for there, and then nobody over there knew who you were, but you have like so many views. Like, whoever is looking at you a certain way because you have so many views, they're expecting those numbers to still, like, they're expecting the ratio to still be there. If they were to sell something branded as you, they're expecting the ratio to still be, we'll definitely get some profits in that area, right? But then it's like, if those are the people that don't know about you, then it's almost like you're like mismanaged, right? I don't know. So, I mean, I don't know. I know I'm not at the level that I want to be at yet, but once I am, I'm like, theoretically, like, how serious do you want me to take it before I've taken it serious enough? You know? Like, I just don't know. It's hard too, because with any creative endeavor, when you get like a mediator in between to help you, because sometimes, you know, if people are hoping to get a contract with a label, you know, you hear about different stories of what can happen. You hear about people say, make sure you have a lawyer with you who's going to read the contract if you're there, like, make sure, you know, that kind of thing. Or you know, you hear like, oh, they're only going to even hear out that you wanted to have a conversation about this if you already have a manager who they already know about, that kind of thing, you know? But the problem, I think there can be small problems along the way that people have to look out for, because you have to know that if you have a manager, that they see you as like top tier, not as somebody who they're willing to make money off of, who they see as less than somebody else. Because managers can have multiple clients and you have to be their favorite, or you're not going to get anything, or they might not really like ride for you, you know? You might just be on the list of a few people who they're hoping will get breadcrumbs. You have to know that that's the right person, but also labels do this thing sometimes where I've heard of, I don't know, how would I know? But I've heard people say that labels will have one really big artist and then 10,000 ones that are gonna get nothing. And those are just the ones that they like shelve. And it'll be like, oh, this person has the same eye color as this other person that we're really trying to promote right now, so we're actually going to try to make sure that they don't get a deal somewhere else so we don't have competitors. That's another thing that people talk about a lot, which, again, how would I know? But that's what people say, is that they're like, be careful, because if you look identical or very similar, it doesn't even have to be your doppelganger. You could be the same race as somebody else. You could have one thing about your personality that's in common, you know? You could both have exactly this many followers. You could both have this exact clothing style, this exact talent, this exact skill, or lack this exact skill. And then it's like, oh no, that would be our competitor if they were signed by anybody else. So we have to make sure that they're shelved by us, so that our other person, who is going to be our next one, is the one that we're going to use as like profitable. That's what I've heard. So I'm like, okay. I've also got to make sure that I don't fall into whatever that is. There's so many things that I have to be like, oh, can I manifest blocking this but also trying to get this? Like, is that possible? With $0. And not spontaneously meeting anybody, but I also don't know anybody. Because how lucky would I have to be if I plan to just meet somebody? I mean, I'm probably in the wrong physical location for that. And if I moved to the right location, there would be 1 million, if not 100,000 other people who they could have accidentally chosen instead. Even if I manifested it, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know the plan. But I kind of know the plan, because clearly I just have to keep improving and going with what I'm currently doing. You know? Like, I'm not looking at it like, oh, that's a big number of albums that I'm working on or that I have finished or worked on. I'm like, okay, here's how my voice sounds, how comfortable I am with it. Here's the next concept that I'm interested in doing and the magical purpose of it, because I'm like, okay, like, it means something to me. I'm like, here's what I want to learn to do. Here's how established I feel in, like, who I am, how much I'm willing to, like, say no to certain types of contracts, how much I'm willing to be optimistic or, like, better myself. You know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Because it's like I have something about me that is competitive. And that's everything. That's my whole story. And not just story, but literally the amount of time and effort and energy I've been able to put into things with no results, with no views, with no money. Like, if you're getting 2 views on a video and you just put out your 340th song and you got 2 views on every single video, you know, or like one got like 16 views, you know, and the rest got like 2 views, but you're still putting out, you know, videos, and you're on YouTube video 717 or something, right? Well, you kind of have to know that you've got something special because you're still willing to continue even if there's no sign that you have got something special. You're willing to not give up and know everything that you know. In 2025, if somebody wanted to start out, they would need like hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to just promote everything. So, yeah. So that does mean that pretty much everybody you see, that's the life they were born with. But it wasn't the life I was born with, so strategizing. But it's not overnight. And it wasn't overnight that I put out all of that. But I had so much confidence that even when I had 0 confidence, and all of it was embarrassing, and all of it was terrible, and I couldn't see the light of day at the end of the tunnel, that I still put out the next song. Because that was still how much I cared about myself improving and getting better, even when everything I put out I felt like was terrible, or not good enough, or I could imagine so many ways it could be better that I don't have access to fixing, or that I'm not ready for, or that my voice isn't strong enough for yet, but I'm still working on, and all of that. And, you know, going into my personality and pulling out the next album is the easy part. Writing an album of lyrics is the easy part. Writing 100 songs worth of lyrics is the easy part. Coming up with album art is the easy part for me. Coming up with anything creative is the easy part for me. It's just that I wasn't born with the money that would just fix it. And even if I were to, it wouldn't have been mine. So you kind of have to, where I come from, it's like, there's not money that's mine. There's my regular job at Sam's Club, like doing samples, you know, like minimum wage. So, and if I were to put out ads on my videos, it would be hard to not see it as like almost wasteful if I don't know that it's going to go anywhere. That's how I feel. So it makes it difficult, right? Because it's like, clearly there's a good reason why somebody else would want to invest in me. It's just I wouldn't be able to do something substantial with $100 worth of ads or something, or whatever, like whatever that is, you know, less than that. It wouldn't make sense to spend that much if that's how much I make in like a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? It wouldn't make sense to be that wasteful in my life with no return. And then to put out, and that would only promote one video. And then I'm gonna put out the next 300 songs. There's no way for someone to really like promote themselves as an artist. You could promote one video as yourself. But that's why there's certain like, I don't know. But the more I put out work, the more I put out songs and things, I'll feel more confident in myself and know when I am in an environment that's based around that, I'll know, okay, I've already done this 100,000 times. It wouldn't matter if I did it again. I can just put my best foot forward and not be like in my brain about it, because people get in their head about it. Sometimes you'll see an artist, they're successful on their first album and they're scared to make another one. They never make another one. Or 10 years go by, 5 years go by. Because they were successful for their first one, but they didn't prove to themselves they could actually do it. Or that if they couldn't do it, that it wasn't a bad thing. Because you fail sometimes, but you have to be the one who knows that it's not a bad thing when you fail. I don't know. So for me, with 16 albums, even though I got 0 views on all of them, it doesn't mean they all did bad. It means none of them were found out by anybody. That's how it works. None of them were found out about by anybody. So it means all of them could go any way. Completely. Which means some of them would do well and some of them would not do well. Which means that no matter what, it's probably a combination. Some would do well, better than others, you know? But also the lack of feedback makes it harder to know what direction to go in. So I just keep creating things and find out what I like. And that sticks with me more than if I had feedback and felt forced to go in a certain direction. You know? No collaborators on my work helps me to find my own voice and know what I would do. But I can also find space and be like, okay, I understand where I would have been okay with somebody else collaborating on a certain project, but I understand when I wouldn't have wanted that. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of all I have for the video. But it makes me just feel like I wasn't gonna give up, but like, what else am I supposed to do if I'm not supposed to give up? Well, supposed to isn't really real, but like, if I have an option better than giving up, then I haven't found it yet. I just haven't given up because I decided not to, but like, if there were, I'm not expecting an option to come to me. I just don't know if there's a legal way to go find one. What are my options, you know? What are my options? I can't just show up to a building with like a sword and be like, hey, here's what's gonna happen. Because I feel like a part of my personality like could do it, but like it just wouldn't be like the legal way. Like I said, they would just call the police and be like, hey, someone showed up with a sword. They said it's time to give them a deal and this is exactly what it has to be, and every detail's already planned out. They're like, yeah, we'll send somebody over there, like we'll remove them from the scene, you know? Like it doesn't. So because I naturally kind of think of like just physically show up there with a sword, obviously I'm not going to, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like, I'm kind of like, well, like how else do people improve their lives? Like that's kind of what they do, right? What else do people do? It's not that there's not technically options, it's just that there's only really seriously bad options. And I just that was my arm, literally, like, that was embarrassing. Not really, but like, cause bones just, I don't know. I have no idea. But it's the best I got. What's the plan? There's not a plan. There's not a plan. Anyway, I guess that's it. I love you guys. Bye.